Well, Sayuri Shirai is Professor of Economics at Japan's Keio University. I asked her how significant it was for Japan's headline inflation rate to have passed the United States for the first time in 8 years.
So United States, of course, they also experienced this commodity hike, imported price hike, but this passing on those increased production costs on retail prices, they have completed it last year. So that's why we started to see inflation coming down in U.S. much faster than Japan. Whereas Japan last year, they gradually increased retail prices because this pace of passing on this increased production cost and imported cost on the retail prices was very, very slow, simply because Japan's consumption is weak.
Now, the core CPI, which excludes things like energy and food prices, has fallen slightly in this June data. What does this data indicate about the overall inflation trend in Japan?
So right now, this core inflation, so excluding fresh food and energy, still very high, like 4.2%. But we started to see some slowdown, simply because hotel charges were rising very fast. So, but the inflation of the hotel charges are coming down, and also this price of eating out, restaurant fees, also started to come down gradually. But we will start to see this trend more significantly from fourth quarters. After as I said earlier, after this pace of passing on the increased cost on the retail price will be completed.
Now, Japan is currently, I think, the only central bank in the world with negative interest rates. What potential implications might a reversal of that strategy have for wider global financial markets? Okay,
so Bank of Japan is doing two things. One is, like you said, negative interest rate. But right now, a lot of people are interested in Japan's 10-year yield control. So Bank of Japan tries to stabilize this 10-year interest rate at around 0%. So everybody is paying attention to what Bank of Japan will do, and market participants are hoping the Bank of Japan will try to modify this 10-year yield target and then starts to raise this long-term interest rate. But I think it's too early to do that, because even though Japan's inflation is very high, way above 2% price stability target, but we know this inflation will come down because this is simply cost push inflation. So it's nothing to do with domestic demand. So as governor keeps saying, the inflation will come down, and then Bank of Japan say inflation will come down, but sometime next year, inflation will start to pick up again. But next year is more favorable time, like wage price virtuous cycle. So, once the Bank of Japan can see such kind of positive inflation from next year, I think then Bank of Japan can discuss about, normalizing monetary policy. But at this stage, it's too early to make such kind of judgment.